Lauren Fritsch with you today, as if that's a surprise, and I just want to talk more about money. I know that's not a surprise. Here's the deal. I keep coming up, it's all about rags to riches. So I keep coming up to stories that I hear from friends, clients, peers, colleagues, whatever, about this concept of manifesting money, being able, sorry, that was hair in my mouth, manifesting money, being able to attract money, like checks in the mailbox, amazing contracts, like mad amounts of cash, and then these same people getting to a point, and yours truly included, where you really are struggling, whether it's losing a house, having to declare bankruptcy, not knowing where your next paycheck is going to come from, whatever. And these same people who have at times manifested $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month, whatever the numbers are, they've been big, and then also having to go back down to zero or less than zero. So that's something that I keep seeing a pattern of, and I've seen it as a pattern in my own life. I've talked a little bit about that already on the videos, and everybody else seems to be experiencing the same thing, or everybody else who comes into contact with me. So I want to name that pattern, and I call it like the riches to rags pattern, actually. And I just want to talk a little bit about what's going on there. So Tony Robbins has a quote that the definition of success is that you can lose everything and know that you'll build it back up again. That's paraphrased. And I like that concept because basically what he's saying is that your external achievement and your material assets don't actually define who you are as a person and what you can do with your life. That is vital to understand and to embrace. Beyond that, there's still this experience of the monetary flow of energy that is really, really coming up continually on this planet. And if you are not sure what I'm talking about, all you have to do is go look at what's going on financially for a lot of nations right now. We are looking at a whole lot of, oh shit, I don't know where the money's going to come from next. So no wonder it's playing out on a smaller micro scale when it is also playing out on this macro scale. So what does that mean for us, and what does that mean for the person who's going, holy fuck, how do I pay my rent? So let's talk about it. Number one, I think that opportunity of going back to that crazy place is really giving you and me and everyone else an opportunity to surrender. And I'm gonna paraphrase some things that I talked about with Jennifer Retzio earlier today, and I will credit her with some of this conversation that she and I had off camera. But it's this concept that we have this, number one, we have this hero story in our heads that in order to be the hero, you have to come through the valley of the shadow of death. And that often looks like losing everything so that you can rise like the phoenix from the ashes and then tell this beautiful story. And then people will want to buy things from you. And that's great, wonderful, if that's what you want to get down with. But we're also in a new place where you don't have to make it that hard. If you want to shift, if you want to become something new, if you want to rise higher, you don't have to go back lower again. Just put that in your pipe and smoke it. Number two, once you've given up on that rags to riches story, there's something deeper. And, you know, Jennifer and I were talking about how a lot of it is around people who have a spiritual platform also needing to go through this money thing to feel like they can then get into the spiritual platform. And I'll dissect that a little bit. So to really embody a spiritual platform and a place of spiritual leadership in this world, you have to let go of your identity. And identity and money are often very intertwined. And so people who are in the process of embracing their spiritual platform often money or their identity is one of the things that's standing in their way. So in order to get to a place of full surrender, in order to get to a place of full cooperation, you have to lose and let go of your identity. And if even a part of that identity was the material wealth, the money, the stuff, then you have to be willing to lose it. One of my dear friends, I won't say her name on here, but she's been going through that. She has given up so many things that were part of her identity. And it's been a grieving process for her to give up these things. And she's recognized them for that part of the process that they are. And still it hurts. So for people who are called to a spiritual leadership role in this world, the identity has to go. And if that means that the money is so intertwined with identity, then maybe that's what you're choosing. The money has to go too. Now, again, back to the concept of giving up on that rags to riches thing. You can choose to do this in a more graceful fashion, truly. And if you find yourself in a space right now of complete and utter panic, I would just invite you to say, what part of my identity am I still holding on to? I'll give you an example. For me, it was really hard for me to even, so when stuff was really tough, it was hard for me to contemplate getting a job because my identity was so caught up in being this like footloose, fancy free freelancer. Like, I don't take jobs. Jobs are for the proletariat. You know, and hello, did I need to die to my ego, to my identity, or what? I'll say I had built up this straw man of consultant freelancer that I was willing to put that identity ahead of my financial well-being and, frankly, survival. So, again, I'm not saying that that's the case with you. Ask yourself, what part of your identity are you not giving up yet? Are you not willing to give up yet? What's still sticking around that you're really committed to, more so than you were committed to saving your house? More so than you were committed to getting a job? For some of you, however, your identity is wrapped up in your house. So even though you know that the easiest, best, most wonderful thing for your family would be to let go of the house, sell the house, whatever, get rid of the house, you're so caught up in having a house and being a homeowner that you're not, that identity is more important than survival. So that same thing, the house, can be the source of the angst, or it can also be the solution to the angst. So all that to say, I just want to wrap this back up. And it's not going to be a pretty bow, frankly. But just to let you know that this story that you need to rise from the ashes to be great, just because that's what we historically have seen, doesn't have to be that way. That there's something going on here where we're so attached to self, this self that we've created, that we're not willing to see other things that are outside and possible. And that dying to oneself, dying to the ego, looks different for everybody. For some people, it's going to mean holding fast and holding steady to the course of one-on-one clients in private freelance work. For others, it's going to mean going to get a part-time job, and for others, it's going to mean saying, hey, I'm going to go get a 9-to-5 or whatever that looks like, because that's what I need to do right now to take care of myself, to take care of my family, outside of the identity that we've created, outside of ego. So, money. keep digging. Keep digging, because we got more. And I just thank you for being on this journey with me. And if you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the comments. And if you like this video, share it on Facebook. Share it on the Twitter. Peace.